Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield here at Aria, which has to be one of the biggest hotels in the world, part of city centre. It takes you about 4 hours to get from the door to the theatre, but when you do, you're in for a surprise. Zarkana is the latest offering by Cirque Du Soleil, and it's magnificent, it's brilliant, and it features the Athertons. How are you, boys?
Great, thanks. It's good to be here.
Nice to see a lovely American accent there.
Yeah, we've been working on it. We've been here now for, I'd say, about 6 years, and it's coming.
Right, let's start at the beginning. We've got twins here, and we've got Andrew and Kevin. Which one is which?
I'm Andrew. Kevin.
Great, that's brilliant, because if it had been the other way around, I've asked you to move, because you literally can't tell you apart. How old are you?
38 years old. Yeah, we turned 39 in one month, so it's not...
You looked shocked when he said that. Weren't you aware how old you were?
Actually, when you did ask me that, I was like, how old am I? I kind of forgot.
So here you guys are then, part of Cirque du Soleil, who, as far as I'm concerned, do the best shows in the world. They've mastered the art of theatre, and they say to you, come and do your act, which we'll talk about in a minute. Is there anything more thrilling in terms of what you do than being part of a show this big?
No, definitely not. I mean, we've been doing it for 14 years now, and to get to perform on a stage as big as that in front of as many people as we do, it's a fantastic feeling.
So here we go then, let's describe what it is. It's spectacular, it's high, it's on wires, it's on ropes, it's swinging, it's you catching each other, and if not, you both die. Congratulations.
That's pretty much summed it all up in one. Yeah, I mean, we fly around the first part of the act, we fly around on individual straps, and that takes us extremely high over the audience, and the theatre's a big theatre, and we use as much space as we can in this theatre. And the second part, we come together on one set of straps where we kind of do like an aerial ballet, really, together.
I always say the thing about Cirque is imagine the best show you can picture in your mind's eye and then times it by 10. There are no limits almost to their budget and creativity. They enable you to do the best show you can possibly do. And with this, as I say, there is a risk. I mean, you're on wires and you're above the audience. Firstly, are you strapped on? Because you sort of come and go from different wires. You're flying above thousands of us and you could fall. That's how it looks.
I think I probably got the worst deal out of this because I'm the one that's hanging on. So the only thing that's keeping me on is my grip on him. He's actually got the straps under his arms, so I don't know how that worked out really, but no.
It's brilliant, it's high, it's exciting. That's what Cirque du Soleil do, and I think it's the first point in this show where people go and you literally see that in the audience. You start on stage and then you fly high and suddenly there you are. You're given great lighting, amazing music. It's all part of an act, and then you have sort of this appearance that is also almost statue-like, isn't it? Describe what you do.
Well, the first part of that, it is that where the audience do go wow, and we feel that because it's almost a shock. They do see us on the stage very briefly before we actually take off, and it takes us right over the audience, and we feel that there's a gasp of shock and also a little bit of fear because they're like, how are these guys held on? And then it brings us back to the stage, and that's where we feel that we bring the audience with us, because we do go from the audience onto the stage. So when we're performing, we feel they are with us 100% all the way.
I've asked this question before and I know the answer, but I'll ask it anyway. I guess you've dedicated your life to do what you do because it is a craft and it's an art. It's not something that I could think tomorrow I'm going to do this act. You can't fill in for you.
No, well, we both started acrobatics at the age of 7, and we've never stopped. I mean, we're 38 now. Circus we only came to at 24. So this is we've never done it before. In gymnastics, we never did that. We do train pretty hard still now. We'll probably train about 1 hour per day, and we do 10 shows per week. So yeah, we do dedicate our life to it.
Again, it must be fun being you because you fly above us, and I know all the ladies I noticed were thinking you were a nice bit of trouser. That can't be bad. I mean, nobody's ever thought of me as delicious.
Not at all. I mean, it is very nice being us, to go out there and do what we do. It's a job in the end, but it's a job that we love to go to work every single day, and we fly. Like it's a dream of everybody's to fly, and we're doing that, like Kevin said, 10 times a week.
And there you are in this show. What other things do you do other than your act, or are you there just for the 5 minutes you're on stage?
Well, we're a new part of this show, so we do the act that we do, and they did allow us to come in and do several cues throughout the show. We do 3, so yeah, you will see us pop up on the stage from time to time.
So this must be the best gig in show business. They pay you to literally work just 5 or 10 minutes a day.
That's true, and it's a playground. It's a huge playground for us. So we get paid to play.
And again, the scale, if we can give people an insight in Britain, I don't think there's anything like it in the UK, is there? What Cirque do here in Vegas?
No, I mean, Cirque do actually come to Great Britain and they do perform at the Royal Albert Hall, but to do a show of this scale in Great Britain, I don't think it's been done yet.
And I mean, I've been in all the theatres in the West End. I don't think there's a stage as big as this one. I mean, the place you come out of, the size of it is enormous. And what amazes me about Zarkana more than any other show, MGM also have Car, which is similar, is how they fill that space. That's the hardest thing in show business, isn't it? When you've got an enormous stage, what do you put in it? And of course, Cirque do that thing where they distract with other things on stage other than what's meant to be looked at. You could see 15 different shows with this if you came back.
And the beauty of this show is you can come back and come back again, and you'll see almost a different show because there is that much going on. You know, there's things happening up at the top of the stage, there's things happening over the audience head now with the inclusion of us, there's things happening on stage. So, you know, there's a multitude of like places that you can look during the show, so people will come back again and again and they'll love it.
And of course, City Centre is brand new relatively to any other casino. It's beautiful. And as is the theatre. They've put more money into the seating than any other theatre I've ever been in. It's comfortable. You've got a ton of leg room. Thank God for that, because you need a rest in Vegas. It can be exhausting.
Yeah, definitely. It's not the easiest place to come and chill out. You need to get your stamina up, and watching a show like this, you can take your break for 90 minutes, just sit back and let us lot do the work.
And from your perspective, coming from Wigan, which is probably the least glamorous place in Britain, let's be perfectly honest, of all the places I could live, that wouldn't be one of them. Coming here, I mean, it's completely the opposite, isn't it? I mean, Wigan is pretty basic and dull, and then you come to the sort of nonsense of Las Vegas. How have you coped with the change?
Well, we coped very, very well, but I mean, the culture shock wasn't that different because Wigan, I don't really see too much difference between Wigan and Las Vegas.
We have a Wigan pier. I mean,
but yeah, it was definitely a culture shock when we first arrived here. We wasn't used to seeing so many huge buildings, so much lights and stuff, but it didn't take us long to get comfortable and familiar here.
Do you just keep away from the nonsense? I mean, when you've done the show, do you just go home and live a normal life like you would in the UK, or are you out every night partying and using those fabulous buffets?
We used to do that when maybe 10 years ago when we first came to Vegas. Now we're a little bit more laid back. I mean, we couldn't do what we do. We went out every night to party. But having said that, we still do have our moments.
Let's talk about being twins and being you guys. Is it hard because you haven't got an individual identity? In this show, you come as a pair. As I sit looking at you now, I can't tell you apart. How do you cope with that? Or is it a great feeling just to have a best friend?
Well, we were both brought up as individuals, so we have got individual personalities. We were very different. But when we came to Cirque, we were almost thrown into a room together and told to work together. And we were encouraged to be almost as one. And I think that was the beauty of the act that we ended up creating. It was difficult at first, but once it clicked, then and then the audience feel it.
There's a beautiful synergy the way you perform, and I don't want to get too arty because that's not what this show's about, but that you do become one, and you're meant to. The way you connect and bond is sort of symbolic of your relationship within the family, isn't it?
Yeah, everything that we do in the act is symmetrical. It's the same, and we've trained to do that. And now we don't necessarily think about it. It's just a natural state for us. So when we do go out to perform, we do it the same every single time.
That was almost like an Oprah question, wasn't it? I did there. It was the only serious question you're going to get in this interview. Your life here, I mean, it's very different. It's a lot hotter today, 80 plus degrees. Is that fun during the day, being able to relax and chill out and enjoy the sunshine? There isn't much in Wigan, is there?
No, we have a very nice home. We have a very nice pool, so we make the most of that.
And how long have you been here now?
We've actually been here, I say, coming up to 4 months now. We used to come here on and off, but this is the longest we've been in Las Vegas for the same amount of time. And we've never done a summer here, so that's one thing that we know we've got to look forward to.
And in your wildest dreams, did you ever think that you'd be welcomed into a show like this? I always say to anybody with ambition, aim for Cirque Du Soleil, because they don't mess around. Unless you're the best at what you do, you might get in, but you won't survive. So in terms of your art, this has got to be the absolute best, hasn't it?
Yeah, this is definitely the top. I mean, we couldn't perform the things that we do in any other company apart from Cirque. They definitely do the stuff, the top and the highest level possible.
And the staging, just to be a bit geeky for a moment, it is beautiful. Do you stand there sometimes in the wings and just think, my God, this couldn't be any bigger and any better? They've mastered the art of scenery, of lighting, of music, putting it all together. And of course, then the craftsmanship of the show with the clowns making it funny, and then putting you guys in between so it all fits together.
That's the first thing we did. I mean, when we found out that we were coming to Zarkana, the first thing we wanted to do was enter the theatre and just to take in the space, really, because like you said, it is so massive here and there's so many things going on that we had to walk around just to get familiar with our surroundings.
What goes through your mind when that wire goes up the first time? Is it excitement? Is it fear? Is it sort of a total relaxed, we're going to do this tonight, we've got to do it another 10 times this week? What goes through your head?
It's an awesome feeling, really. You can't describe it to anybody else. It is just that. It is it's almost like a dream state. The music that we have is such a beautiful piece of music, and we can fly for those 5.5 minutes that we fly for, and we're in almost a trance. It's a great feeling.
And we remember the first time that we ever watched a Cirque du Soleil show, so we remember the way that the public are perceiving what we're doing. So for us, it's like an absolute pleasure. Like Kevin said, it's a dream.
And of course, you get the greatest job in the show where you get to see the audience literally close up. In fact, at any point, you could sit on their knee. You must see some strange things. Do you have to not be distracted by that?
We have had some moments where you'll see people in the audience trying to reach to grab you, because I think they do feel that we're closer than we actually are. I mean, we are supposed to be at least 10 feet from them, but people do try to jump to reach our toes.
Yeah, but you know when you're going to stop. We don't know. So as you're coming towards us, we've no idea that you know you're going to finish.
But there is times, because there's times where I'm looking down, I'm actually holding my brother, I'm holding him on his wrist, and I can see the people in the front row starting to sink in the seats, lifting the hands over thing, and then that's not going to help you if I'm going to drop him here.
And of course, that's what's so thrilling about Cirque du Soleil, isn't it? Is pushing the boundaries of physicality. Who's the strongest out of you, or are you equally as fit as each other?
Andrew's stronger than me.
And you have to be, do you?
No, not necessarily, no. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm strong. We both have our own strengths, but I'm the one that, again, is holding him. But if he wasn't holding me at the same time, then I'd be in trouble.
So how does it work then? Can you swap roles, or have you got a specific thing you do each night?
At the beginning, we used to swap roles just to basically learn what each other was doing. But now we've been doing the act that much that it's almost impossible for us to change roles, because we're that familiar with our with each, what we're doing.
Congratulations on being you. It is a remarkable act, and to get to star in this show must be just fantastic. Zarkana do a great job of making the best of what you do as well. Wigan just called. They said, "Would you be willing to come back?"
No, no. We do plan to go and visit, because you can take you can take us out of Wigan, but you can't take Wigan out of us. We will always be Wigan boys.
I'm teasing. I mean, I did a radio show in the Northwest for Century of Phoning, and they're the greatest people. It's just not the sexiest place. That's the problem. If you could put the Wigan people in Las Vegas, it would be the perfect alchemy, wouldn't it?
That's true, yes, that's true.
They're all characters. Guys, thank you so much. Andrew, Kevin, they are the Atherton brothers. They're here at Zarkana, which is on at Aria. It's a fabulous show, performing twice nightly. Does it ever get boring? I mean, you're doing a lot of shows a week, more than any show in the West End or on Broadway. How do you keep it fresh?
Well, I'm guessing total now, we've probably done with Cirque over 4,000 shows, and we've never ever once been out there and not absolutely love to perform. And we do change things up, and we mix things up a little bit just to keep it fresh for us. So we're not bored yet, and I can't see us getting bored for a long time.
You're not tempted to go back to Wigan?
Well, no, not really, no. And our grandmother always used to say to us, when were we ever going to get a real job? And the answer is, we're never going to get a real job.
And who can blame you? You said your parents are out last week. For them, it must be utterly thrilling to see you in this. I can't imagine how they must feel.
Yeah. I mean, it is. I mean, to see us both working at the same time doing things that we love, it's every parent's dream. So yeah, they're very happy.
Congratulations on being you. This show is fabulous. It's on at the Aria in Las Vegas. Zarkana is the show. The Athertons are the brothers. Thank you very much for your time.